In a quiet village lived Adeze, a woman whose life journey would prove that no condition is permanent. Once her world was full of laughter, love, and peace. She lived happily with her husband, Obinna, and their two children, Shema and Ifoma. Though they were not rich, but they were content. Obinna farmed diligently, and Adeze kept their home warm. Their children were their pride. Chima, playful yet hardworking, and Ifoma, bright and curious, with a hunger for knowledge. Every evening, they sat under the moonlight, roasting corn and telling stories. Obinna's voice rang with hope. One day, my Adeze, I will build us a fine house. Our children will run freely in the compound, and people will know Obinna's family is blessed. Obinna said, smiling, dusty from the farm. This little hut is already a palace when filled with love. Riches may come, but love is our wealth. But happiness does not last forever. The rains failed one season, and hunger gripped the land. Then came sickness, creeping quietly from house to house. Obinna, the pillar of Adeze's joy, fell ill. His strength faded until one fateful night. Take care of our children. Teach them kindness. That would be my legacy. And with those words, he was gone. Neighbors gathered, some out of sympathy, others whispering, for in that village, widows were seen as weak, cursed, or even burdened. Adeze buried her husband with trembling hands, tears soaking the earth. But before her tears had even dried, her husband's relatives came, greedy and heartless. They claimed his little house, his land, and his little savings. A woman cannot own a property here. Leave us, or we will drag you out. One of the relatives said to Adeze harshly. They pushed her out with nothing but her children and a few belongings. From that day, Adeze carried the weight of the world on her shoulder. She worked menial jobs, washing clothes, fetching water, scrubbing floors, carrying firewood. Adeze walked. She walked. She walked. And she walked. And she suffered. She was mocked. She was dealt with. All because she just wanted anything to do to put food in her children's mouth. Wow. The villagers mocked her openly. Look at her, Obinna's wife, reduced to a beggar. What use is her honesty now? Said one of the woman neighbors. But Adeze never responded with anger. She remained humble, kind, and patient. Chima, once full of dreams, dropped out of school to support his mother. He carried loads at the market. His small body bent with labor. He worked hard too, worked so hard, did all sorts of menial jobs. Many times, he was wrongly accused of theft just because he was poor and a little boy. Once he was beaten by traders until an elder intervened. Ifeoma, though neat, was mocked by other girls whenever she tried to join them and play. Don't touch us, dirty girl. One of the village girls sneered at her. Yet, Ifeoma had one faithful friend, Ngozi, who always stood by her side, who always played with her when others pushed her away. Leave her alone. She is better than you all. You will see. She will become somebody great one day, Ngozi said to the other girls angrily. Despite all, Ifeoma dreamed of school, of wearing a uniform, of becoming a doctor. Though she sees other kids dressed up in uniform, books in their hands, going to school, she cries every time she sees them. But then she never gave up. She kept on pushing. One day, Adaeze heard of Madam Okafor, a wealthy but lonely woman who lived in a grand mansion at the edge of the town. Adaeze decided to seek work there, though fear and doubt filled her heart. But she decided to give it a trial, hoping that something good will come out. When she arrived, the gatekeeper eyed her with suspicion. Who are you? Why are you standing here like a beggar? Madam does not waste time with people like you, the gatekeeper said to her rudely. Please, sir, I only seek honest work. Let me see Madam. If she says no, I will go, Adaeze said to the gatekeeper, bowing humbly. You think a woman like Madam needs the likes of you? Go back to your mud house. But Adaeze's calm humility softened him. Though grumbling, he finally opened the gate. Fine, go in, but don't say I didn't warn you, muttered the gatekeeper. Inside, Madam Okafor sat on her veranda, elegant but alone. She studied Adaeze carefully, noting her modesty and her honesty. After Adaeze explained the reason why she came, Madam, at first, gave her a small task of sweeping, fetching water, cleaning rooms. But day by day, she saw Adaeze's dedication. She never stole, never complained, never left a task unfinished, even when she was running late. One day, Madam smiled for the first time in years. Adaeze, you are quite different from others. From today, you are not just a worker, You are family, Madam Okafor said warmly to Adeze. The mansion, once cold and silent, came alive with Adeze's warmth. She cooked, she cared, and laughed with Madame. Madame bought small gifts for Chima and Ifoma, feeding them and asking them about their dreams. But again, life turned. Madam Okafor grew ill. Many servants abandoned her, but Adeze stayed. She bathed her, fed her, prayed by her side. She never abandoned her. She never left her side. You see me as a person, not just wealth. Everyone else sees what I own, but you, and only you alone, Adeze, sees my heart. I will not forget you, Adeze. That I promise you. Madam Okafor said to Adeze, weak, very weak, and holding tight onto Adeze's hand. She summoned her lawyer and with shaky hands signed her last will, leaving all she owned to Adeze. Days later, Madame passed on. Adeze wept as if she had lost a mother. When the will was handed over to Adeze, because she's an illiterate, she couldn't read and write. She cherished the will as if it was life itself. She framed the will and hung it on her wall in kind and loving memory of Madam Okafor, not knowing its meaning. It just hung on her wall as a remembrance. Chima continued working hard, often falling into trouble. Once, he was accused of breaking a clay pot at the market and almost got jailed. Ifoma, mocked daily, still dreamed of learning. When word spread of a kind young teacher, Mr. Nnanna, offering free lessons under a tree, oh, Ifoma begged and begged and begged her mother, "Mama, please, let me join. I want to learn." "Be careful, my child. Be good. Carry our hopes with you," Adeze said to her, sighing and stroking her hair. At the lessons, Mr. Nnanna asked the children to bring something to read. Ifoma had nothing. "Take Mama's framed picture. At least it has words on it for you to read," Chima said. When Ifoma gave the teacher a frame to read, the teacher's eyes widened and he froze. This is a legal will. It declares that Madam Okafor left everything to your mother, Mr. Nana said, very shocked. Gas filled the air. Ifoma ran home, crying and shouting with joy. Adeze at first thought it's nonsense. But the lawyer was contacted by Mr. Nana and he confirmed it. She was the rightful heir. News spread. The woman once mocked was now the owner of wealth beyond imagination. Neighbors who ridiculed her now bowed in shame. Now, relatives of Madam Okafor came and contested the will, asking, how can Madam Okafor will all her properties to a poor widow? They doubted it. The lawyer decided to take everyone to court. At the court, the judge cleared the air and told everyone that Adeze is the rightful owner of Madam Okafor's estate. Finally, Adeze and her children moved into their mansion. Their lives changed. Everything seemed like magic. Chima returned to school, dreaming of engineering. Ifoma buried herself in books, chasing her dream of becoming a medical doctor. Adeze never forgot her past. She fed widows, clothed orphans, and opened her home to the poor. The mansion that was once echoed with silence now rang with laughter, prayers, and kindness. From dust to destiny, Adeze's life was transformed, not by greed or force, but by humility, honesty, and faith. No condition is permanent. Today's tears may become tomorrow's laughter. And sometimes, the paper we'll see hanging on the wall without understanding may carry the key to our freedom. Always treat everybody the way you want yourself to be treated. Nobody knows tomorrow. Such is life. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video and enjoyed the story, please share and don't forget to subscribe to the Story Parlor for more exciting and interesting stories. See you next time.